This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Hear remarks from a recent pro-life rally in Hazleton next. Hello everyone, I hope you're warm and comfortable as we settle in for some local information. I'm Ken Cara and I thank you for watching. Samsung Productions CEO Sam Lassand Sr. was honored recently for his support of the pro-life movement through his work in the media by the Northeast chapter of Pennsylvanians for Human Life. He received a plaque at a pro-life rally in Hazleton. In today's news feature, you'll hear from him and Star Rogers, an author who was one of the featured speakers at the event.
So I got married, and it was terrible. My husband was he was abusive, he was an alcoholic. And so during that time, I took up with a man who was 10 years older than me, and I got pregnant by this man. I had my daughter, and for 10 long years after that, and I passed this child off as my husband's child. And for 10 years together, me and this man, I got pregnant by him 4 times. And each time with those children, I aborted them. It's just awful, when a woman has an abortion, because when you do, you're just not right. When a woman has an abortion, it messes up her mind, her soul. You can't be normal. They tell you that you can, but you can't. You're not going to function right because it's so against God. You're supposed to have your babies, not take them out and kill them.
A cold afternoon, I'm in my office at Samsung Productions, right down the road. My secretary comes in and says to me, "Sammy, there is a young girl in the lobby holding a baby and said, you are responsible for this baby." Now, no one wants to hear that. So I go into the lobby, and there's this beautiful girl holding a beautiful baby. She said, "Mr. Lassand, would you like to hold this baby?" I said, "Absolutely." Beautiful 3-month-old baby, blue eyes, blonde hair. Certainly wasn't Italian. And I said, "Well, what's the story?" She said, "Well, I want to tell you. She's 16 years old. Her name is Chrissy. And she said, I was scheduled to have an abortion. And I was watching your show, the Sam Lassand Show, and on the show you had Marianne Lahan and Dr. Frank Polidoro. And after you all discussed about abortion, I decided to have my baby. And here it is. Now, here's the interesting point. She said, "Mr. Lassand, I could not understand why anyone who is a mother would want to see their arms, little arms and legs, and crushed in saline solution." She said it was horrifying. I said, "Yes, it is." I said, "But you had your baby." Then she said to me, "Mr. Lassand, here is the interesting thing, my friends," talking about the Supreme Court. "Here's a 16-year-old girl who said to me, shouldn't there be a law that would forbid mothers for aborting their children?" I said, "Yes, they should." She said, "Well, what could we do?" And I said, "Do what I do every day. I pray the rosary for those unborn babies." I said, "Are you Catholic?" She said, "Yes, I am." I said, "So pray the rosary and pray that we get a Supreme Court that says stop these abortions."
Today's news feature is brought to you by Feisner's Ford in Freeland, who is celebrating 75 years in business. Give them a call at 570-636-3920, or you can log on to feisnersford.com.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Crank up the electric blanket and make some hot chocolate. Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. We have a hazardous weather outlook as a very cold and blustery Arctic air mass pushes into the area Thursday and Friday, likely bringing the coldest temperatures of the season. On Thursday, it's partly sunny with a high in the 20s, wind gusts as high as 31 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low in the teens, wind chill values as low as -4 degrees, wind gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. Friday's partly sunny with a high in the teens. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low in the single digits. Saturday's partly sunny with a high near 20. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low in the single digits. Sunday is cloudy with a high in the 20s, and Sunday night, a 40% chance of snow, mostly cloudy with a low in the 20s. We have two Schuylkill League boys basketball scores to tell you about on the SSPTV Standard Speaker scoreboard. Marion improved to 6-1 overall with a win over Lords. The Colts are 4-1 in the Schuylkill League. Dante Augusti scored 16 points for Marion. Brendan Lonergan had 12, and DeWin Concepcion had 10 points. Mount Carmel beat Tamaqua in a non-league game. Luke Verda led Tamaqua with 13 points. Coming up in the SSPTV Spotlight, a clip from our show Music on the Menu with the Billy Spanton Band. In sports, Mike Bannon, the head athletic trainer in the Hazleton Area School District, talks about his time helping on the front lines of the pandemic, and Hazleton Fire Chief Donald Leschko has been keeping the city safe for 20 years. We learn about his career next.
The American Red Cross has a few blood donation opportunities in our area, and they are currently listed on your screen. For more information, you can visit redcrossblood.org. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Harriet Billman of Hazel Township, who passed away on January 19th. Services will be held on Saturday at the Firo Funeral Home. Rose M. Casari of Drums, the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home, will announce their arrangements. Hillary A. Klatch, age 98, of West Hazleton. Services will be private under the Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home. Thomasita Tommy D. Michelle of Hazleton. A mass will be held on Friday at Most Precious Blood Church. Dorothy Dunce, services will be held at a later date. Robert W. Graybush, age 75, of Tamaqua. No services have been announced. Robert Hauser, aged 80, of Reading. A burial service will be held on Thursday at 11 a.m. at St. Anne's Cemetery in Freeland. Fresno Hall Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the McNulty Funeral Home. Evelyn J. Howell, age 90, of Sugarloaf Township. Mass will be held on Friday at 9:30 a.m. at St. John Bosco Roman Catholic Church. Fresno Hall Friday from 8 to 9 a.m. at the Butler Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Martha A. Michael, age 97, of Hazel Township. Services will be private under the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Edgar L. Morgan Jr., age 87, of Sugarloaf Township. Services will be private under the Heller Funeral Home in Nescopeck. Anna Mae Pilar of Freeland, the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home, will announce the arrangements. Robert Roman, age 65, of Hazel Township. A graveside service will be held on Friday at 1:30 p.m. at the Calvary Cemetery in Drums. The Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Andrew S. Bobby Solonowski Jr., age 73, of Hazel Township. A mass will be held on Thursday at Most Precious Blood Church. The Firo Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Josepha R. Valerio, age 69, of Hazel Township. A graveside service will be held on Saturday at 11 a.m. at St. Gabriel's Cemetery. The Frank J. Bonham Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.